Purchase price, contingencies, settlement dates. We're going to talk about it all. Sit tight. We'll be right back. Okay, so purchase price, is the property priced correctly? How are we going to determine that? We need to find the comps. We need to see at what price point are these properties selling, okay? And does it match the listing price? Also, how many days on market are these properties lasting? Are they going under contract in 3 to 4 days like we're seeing, currently in this market? Are they lasting a little bit longer? We need to see what that time period is. And at what price were these properties listed versus what price did these properties actually sell at? Was the property listed at, $399 and it sold at $430, right? How many of those properties or how many of those comps, are showing that homes are listed at a certain price, but they're selling way above? And that's typically what we are seeing, right? And so when we're determining how far above asking price that we want to go, because obviously we want to get our offer accepted, there are a couple of things that, we're taking into account when we're reaching out to the listing agent, obviously trying to gather as much intel as we possibly can to see if, anybody's going way above asking and things of that nature. Now, they won't tell you these things all the time. So I don't want to put out this, claim that, listing agents will tell you, if there are offers above or not, but sometimes they will. Sometimes they'll say, listen, we got cash offers, we got conventional, we have, some over asking price, we have some, full list. And so there are some things creatively that we can potentially do if you don't want to start at the absolute max. So now if we're talking about contingencies on the other side, right? Obviously, the home inspection is the big one where we're hearing stories of buyers completely waiving these home inspections. A bit of a concern to me because it's definitely not something that I would recommend, a buyer waive is their home inspection, right? But we have to be realistic about the market that we're in. And when you're going up against multiple offers, you're going to have some buyers that are going to, just flat out waive everything. And from a seller's standpoint, it is kind of enticing, right? When they see an offer come in and there's absolutely no contingencies on it, right? Because they want to get to the settlement table with the least amount of headache. Ultimately, it's going to be up to you as the buyer to decide whether you're going to waive that or whether you're going to elect it, because essentially you're going to be signing your initial next to whatever contingency that you want to elect, or whether you're going to waive it or not. Like I said, it's definitely not something that I would recommend, but given the current conditions, you are seeing home inspections being waived, and it just is what it is. Another thing is appraisal contingencies, because when you're going way above asking price, there may be an issue with the appraisal, right? And a lot of buyers don't realize that the lender is only going to give you the appraised value. So if you're going up $350 and the property only appraises for $330, well, that's all the lender's going to give you. And if you have an appraisal contingency attached to your offer, it's basically saying that, look, we'll go up to $350, but if it appraises at $330, then, we have the right to, walk away from this deal, get our deposit money back if we're not able to come to terms, right? Because obviously, somebody's either going to have to cover that $20,000 spread, or the seller's going to have to come down in price. And if a seller's, accepted your offer at $350, then obviously they're not going to be happy if they have to, come down $20,000. If you're attaching that contingency, that may sway a seller away from your offer versus someone who doesn't have that appraisal contingency on it and is also written into the agreement that even if this thing doesn't appraise, we're still willing to financially come out of pocket to cover that gap. And you can write those things into your agreement and basically say, look, Mr. and Ms. Seller, if the property does not appraise at $350, hey, we're completely fine with that. We will pony up that extra money to confirm that $350 offer. Those are things that you have to determine. Are you financially in a position to go way above asking price if you have an appraisal shortfall, somebody's going to have to either come up or somebody's going to have to come down, or you're going to have to come to some type of terms. That could be, the determining factor whether your offer is accepted or not. You have to be mindful when you're going, way up above the asking price. Are you going to play ball? Are you not? Right. And so, sellers are smart. The listing agents are smart. They're going to be going over it. If they see that contingency attached to your offer, they're going to explain to the seller the consequences of accepting it. Those are things that you're definitely going to want to, talk to your agent with when you're writing that offer up. And then another thing is settlement dates, because you never know what situation the seller is in, right? Seller could be in a situation where they need to sell their home in order to buy the next home, and they need some time to actually go out and find that next property. They may need a 60 to 90 day settlement date, and they may need a lease back, right? Where you settle on a specific date and you lease the property back to the seller for a negotiated price on a per day basis, right? So they're basically paying rent back to you to kind of stay in that property until they're, able to find something else. Hopefully they are able to find it. Seller gets the offer in. First thing they're going to look at is, okay, how much are they going to purchase this thing for, right? And then they're going to start to break down things like how much are they putting down? Who is the lender? Are they reputable? And that's another thing, right? Definitely want to make sure that you are partnered up with a reputable lender, right? Somebody that's going to go the extra mile for you, right? I've heard stories where lenders are actually reaching out to the listing agent, calling them, right, and telling them, look, these buyers are solid. We've already verified their assets. They make great income. There's going to be no issues in terms of settlement and closing costs. They've already got the funds. They're ready to rock and roll. They're rock star buyers. And those are the type of lenders that you want to be partnered up with, right? The ones that are going to actually take that extra step and kind of, reach out to the listing agent on your behalf. I hope this video helps you guys. If there's any other questions that you have, if you're on the buyer side or if you're on the seller side, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'll try to answer anything that I possibly can. If I don't have the answer, I can get you the answer relatively soon. We're already in the spring market, although it's technically not spring right now, but we are going into that spring market full steam ahead. We should see more inventory coming in, but demand is still going to be very high. Prices are still going up that we see. Chances are, if you're going to write up an offer and the property hits the market, you should expect that you're going to be in multiple offer situations. Gone are the days where you could, go $5,000, $10,000 under the asking price, right, and try to get a deal. That's not going to happen here unless you're looking at a property that has been on the market for an extensive period of time, and you have more leeway where a seller doesn't have any offers, and you can negotiate the sales price down. These properties in the high demand areas, they're coming on the market. They're only on the market for 5 to 6 days. They're calling for offer deadlines, so you already know you're going to have to make an aggressive offer, and chances are you're going to have to go over asking price. It just is what it is. So let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, feel free to reach out, and I hope this video did help you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good one.